Hey, good evening. It's Wednesday, June 7th. And thank you so much for being here on Everyday Talk. I'm going to take a little break tonight and talk about my cat, Echo, and God's faithfulness for her. She's here in the office with me, and maybe she'll come up here and maybe she won't. She's up to some of her crazy antics for the moment. But about a year ago, I think exactly a year ago this date, the Lord chose to place this little kitten in my life. And we called her Echo. And the provision of God through this animal, here she is. You can see her there. Look up, see? There she is. Good, whoops. Got a little treat there. The provision of God through this animal, this little cat, has brought such an immense peace to my life in ways that I never would have expected. And there's a passage in Isaiah. Hey, girl. It's a passage in Isaiah. It says this. It's at the end of chapter 65. And Isaiah is describing almost something as we can look forward to. Has kind of the message of Eden to it. The wolf and the lamb will feed together, and the lion will eat straw like the ox. But the dust will be the serpent's food. They will neither harm nor destroy in all my holy mountain. There is this picture in this endings portion of Isaiah of oneness in God's creation. And here the Lord has chosen to give us an example of that oneness, speaking to animals, being able to get along with each other, speaking with animals who would normally be fighting each other and killing each other. He's speaking of them being at peace, a oneness, something that kind of beckons us back to Eden and creation. Well, what God has done for me this last year with Echo is just bring a strange, amazing sense of peace to me in oneness. I talk to Echo about things that interest me. I talk to Echo about things that she probably has no interest at all in. But she has brought such a sense of joy, completeness, oneness, which is what this passage is describing. There's a oneness in God's creation. And it's been horribly fractured by sin. But we get these reminders from time to time, and sometimes in a relationship with our animals, where the Word of God gives us this kind of hope of restoration and peace. And Echo, that's what she does. She's represented that to me. And that's God's gift to me. About a year and 7 weeks ago, Echo was born at God's command, in God's timing. I had no clue at the time. Wasn't looking for a cat, didn't have any interest in a cat, thought I was a dog person. Instead, the Lord sent this little girl. And she has been faithful to me and an encouragement to me and a help to me. And just someone who is there and been faithful in a very special way. I can talk to this cat in ways I can't talk to anyone else. And this passage gives me that sense of oneness, of what we're looking forward to in God's purpose and plan. It's such a good thing to stop for a moment and see God's provision for us in ways that are not heavy theological, cause us to have a lot of thought. Rather, he just brings the simpleness of relationship, of oneness through these animals. Maybe you have a dog. Maybe it's a cat. I've had some chickens here. I had some roosters that I was pretty fond of until the coyotes got them. You see me, I go out and I talk to the cows when I see them. But this last year, has been precious to me because God has brought this little cat to remind me of the oneness that we all will be restored to in God's timing. And that is a huge blessing of God. And for that, I am deeply grateful. And that's the message of just this special night means to me, having Echo for a year, another reminder of the faithfulness of God, another way to see God's hand in all of our creation around us, and how he never leaves us, forsakes us. And truly, the nearness of God is our good. And that's the thought for this night. And Lord willing, we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks so much for being here. You have a great evening. Bye. Thank you so much for watching. It is such a huge encouragement.